This was a STP file downloaded from a manufacturer's website and then imported. Now, it's a pretty picture, but the amount of detail is really unnecessary to show where how to connect it up. It just takes up too much of the computer's resources. When we start getting down to stuff like this, it's not necessary. So I spent a couple of hours converting it into something that had the connections in the right places and took up the volume, and I'll show you that here. What I did here is I created an extrusion lined up at the center line of this POC and made a cutout. I used a subtract. Pick this object first, then you pick your extrusion and hit enter, and it cuts a hole. Now, it helps lining things up if you draw a construction line from the center point of this POC and draw it out here. And then that way, when you go to place your circle, you choose the end point of that line, and you know you're going to be dead nuts on in the center of this connection. Just saves a little time instead of hunting and picking when you're trying to draw both of these. Now, let's hide this. And you can see my connection here. Man, I have 32 gigs of RAM and an 8 gig video card, and it's dogging my machine. Anyway, the connection, that flange connection, came right on. And I guessed pretty good at the size of that pipe. I guessed it was a 2-inch. I think that's what I got going out of there. Come on, give it to me. Yeah, 2-inch. Anyway, that's basically the whole thing repeated for every POC. I want to show you a few things that'll help you speed up your work and save you from having to do things over. Before you turn this piece into equipment, while it's still a 3D solid, excuse me, make a copy of it, put it on a separate layer so you can turn it off. And while you're doing your editing in this 3D solid, you're going to want to make sure solid history is turned on. That way you can go back here and click on there's another tutorial out there that'll tell you how to do it. If you hold down the control key, you can pick that and edit it. The other thing that'll save you a lot of time, man, of course I got a video recorder running too, and it's taking up some of my resources. All right, so let's get back to this thing. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, to save you from turning on and off layers, there's a few commands that I picked up using Revit, and one of them is to hide an element, and for me it's HH. Now, that is not going to be in your PGP file. You have to add that to your PGP file, and you can make it any command you want. The other one is HR, which undoes either the hide or the isolate. And again, you have to add that. And then the other one is to isolate something. And in each instance, all you do is hit your whatever you decided for unhide or object. For me, it was HR. Just save you a lot of hassles, because sometimes things get in the way and maybe you just want to hide one part or isolate one part without doing the whole layer. Okay, I think that about covers it. And if you go back to use your copy, like I did here, don't forget to turn it back to layer 0.